Lacrosse picked up its first home victory of the 2012 campaign over an in-state rival. This is the HartfordHawks.com Hawks Vision Weekly Update.
Hello everyone and welcome once again to the HartfordHawks.com Hawks Vision Weekly Update. I'm Keith Arsenault here on Fiondella Field, the home of Hartford baseball. The baseball team was one of 3 Hawk teams to play right here in West Hartford last week. The other 2 were lacrosse and women's basketball.
We'll start things off with the lacrosse team hosting Quinnipiac on Saturday afternoon. Jared Franzi getting the scoring started for the Hawks. That put them up 1-0 and the goals kept on coming. Freshman Ty Schultz winning the faceoff and then finding Carter Bender for the strike. The Hawks were perfect from the faceoff X in the first quarter. Late in the first, John Quinn in transition, he finds Ryan Compitello to put the Hawks up 6-1. The Hawks poured it on in the first half. Quinn again finds Kevin O'Shea here. The Hawks led 10-3 at the end of the first half, but Quinnipiac not going quietly. Matt Deal found Brandon Curing to cap off a 4-0 rally for the Bobcats. That cut the Hawk lead to 3, but Aiden Genick knocking it back up to 4 with the pretty spin move. His second goal of the game. Quinnipiac, though, in the fourth quarter, keeping it close. They cut it to 2 there with that Brandon Curing goal, but the Hawks put on a 3-0 run, started here by Carter Bender's goal. The Hawks went on to win this game 15-12, their first win at Almar Zook in the 2012 season. That came after a disappointing Wednesday when they fell to Siena 22-17 despite a second half comeback. The Hawks are on the road on Wednesday against Nutmeg State rival Sacred Heart before returning to West Hartford to host Wagner on Saturday afternoon.
Thanks to their performances last week, senior attack Carter Bender won America East Player of the Week honors, while freshman Ty Schultz took the America East Rookie of the Week award. Moving on, more highlights. Hartford women's basketball hosted Syracuse in the WNIT last Friday. Let's take a look at those highlights.
The Hawks hosted the Orange in a rematch of a 2009 NCAA Tournament victory for the Hawks. Syracuse got started early with the 2 there, but Alex Hall with the scoop shot in the lane brought the Hawks within 1 point. But Amber Bebko's 3 here put the Hawks ahead 5-3. Bebko again in the lane this time, putting the Hawks up 7-3 early in the first half. That lead was short-lived as Elishir Hall put the Orange ahead 8-7, and it was a close game for the rest of the first half. With the defense here, Ruth Ann Duwati pokes it away and goes the distance for the layup that tied the game at 10 apiece. Later on in the first half, Hawks trailing by 4. Alex Hall in transition, she finds Taylor Clark, gets her own rebound and puts it back up. She hit the free throw that made it 24-23. The Hawks trailed 29-23 at the break, and the Orange came out firing in the second half as they ran on to a 59-42 win over the Hawks in West Hartford. Heading back outside, the Hawks baseball team hosted UMass last Tuesday and the Bats got going early. Andy Drexel with his double to left center plated 2 runs as the Hawks took the 2-1 lead. Their next batter, Brian Hunter, brings in Andy Drexel over the left fielder's head and bounces over the wall for a ground rule double. Hawks led 3-1 at the time. Top of the third, Andy Drexel again showing off the arm. He cuts down Rich Grafe at the plate to keep the Hawks in the lead. That lead wouldn't last forever. Top 4, Adam Pickard with a bomb over the left field wall puts the Minutemen up 5-4. Bottom of the 5th, though, score still 5-4 in favor of the Minutemen. Simon Kudernach steals second, and a heads-up play. He scores on the throwing error to tie the game at 5. The Minutemen would tack on another run to lead 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th, but Brady Sheets tied the game with an RBI triple and put the Hawks ahead 7-6 on a Ryan Lukacs single when he scored. But in the top of the 8th, the Minutemen 2-run single by Rob McClam as the Minutemen go on to beat the Hawks at home 8-7. Hawks then dropped a 3-game weekend series on the road at Pitt. The Hawks returned to the Diamond Wednesday at home against Fairleigh Dickinson before trading home-and-home doubleheaders with in-state rival Yale. Softball was busy last week at the South Florida Spring Break Invitational, picking up a pair of games on the week against Coastal Carolina and against Colgate. The Hawks continue their Florida trip with 5 more games in the Sunshine State before returning to the Northeast at Stony Brook to open conference play. Men's golf competed at the Bandon Dunes Championship in Bandon, Oregon. They finished 12th out of 15 teams led by senior Matt Smith. And the women's golf team gets their spring schedule underway at the Hope College 2-Day Championship at the PGA Village in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Well, that'll do it for this week on Hawks Vision. Be sure to stay tuned to HartfordHawks.com all week for the latest on Hartford athletics. For HartfordHawks.com, I'm Keith Arsenault.